Eric Richins was the kind of man who seemed to have everything figured out. Born and raised in the scenic landscapes of Utah, he embodied the spirit of his small community, hardworking, dependable, and endlessly optimistic. His upbringing was humble but rich in love and tradition. The youngest of 3 siblings, Eric was adored by his family, who often described him as the glue that held them together. His parents, deeply rooted in their faith, instilled in him values that shaped the man he would become: kindness, perseverance, and a relentless drive to achieve his dreams. Eric had an infectious smile, the kind that could disarm even the most stoic person. He carried a quiet confidence, exuding warmth that drew people to him. Friends would later recount that he had a rare gift for making others feel seen, heard, and valued. This magnetic quality would serve him well as he grew into adulthood and began carving out his path in the world. His ambitions were large but not self-serving. Eric didn't just want success. He wanted to share it with the people he loved most. After earning a degree in business, Eric ventured into real estate, a field that matched his entrepreneurial spirit. He had a knack for seeing potential where others saw decay. Dilapidated houses became opportunities, barren lots, blank canvases. Over the years, he built a thriving business that transformed communities, not just properties. He was known to offer work to local contractors who were down on their luck, believing in second chances and the power of resilience. It was through his work that Eric met Eric Richins. At first glance, Curry appeared to be everything Eric could want in a partner: ambitious, driven, and as outwardly charming as he was. Their connection was instant, a whirlwind romance that seemed plucked from a storybook. Friends marveled at how seamlessly Curry fit into Eric's life, how she shared his vision of building not just a business, but a family. Within a year, they were married, and Eric believed he had found the partner he would grow old with. But as the years passed, cracks began to form in their seemingly perfect marriage. The couple welcomed 3 children into their lives, and while Eric thrived as a father, immersing himself in bedtime stories, soccer practices, and family road trips. However, the pressures of maintaining their lifestyle began to strain their relationship. Curry's spending habits became a point of contention, as did her control over their finances. Eric, ever the optimist, dismissed his concerns as temporary hiccups in an otherwise happy life. But behind closed doors, tension simmered. By 2022, those tensions had escalated into outright conflict. Friends noticed that Eric, once effervescent and full of life, had become more subdued. He confided in close family members about his growing unease, expressing doubts about Curry's loyalty and intentions. There were whispers of financial mismanagement, arguments about the future, and a deepening chasm between the couple that no amount of effort seemed able to bridge. March 3, 2022, began like any other day in the Richins household. The children went about their routines, and Eric buried himself in work, as he always did. That evening, he and Curry shared what appeared to be a normal dinner together. According to Curry, they talked about their plans for the future, laughed, and even toasted to their success. But Eric couldn't have known that this meal would be his last. In the early hours of March 4th, chaos erupted. Curry called 911, her voice frantic, claiming that Eric was unresponsive. Paramedics arrived to find him lying on the bedroom floor, his body cold, his face pale. Despite their efforts, it was too late. Eric was pronounced dead at the scene. The initial assumption was that he had suffered a sudden heart attack. He was just 39 years old, but something about the scene didn't sit right with investigators. Eric was in excellent health, a man who exercised regularly and had no known medical conditions. The autopsy report, released weeks later, confirmed their suspicions. Eric Richins had been poisoned. The toxicology report revealed a lethal dose of fentanyl in his system, a substance 5 times more potent than heroin. It was an unthinkable discovery, one that transformed Eric's death from a tragedy to a murder investigation. As detectives delved into Eric's life, their focus quickly turned to Curry. Her behavior in the days following his death raised eyebrows. While Eric's family mourned, Curry appeared unervingly composed, even detached. Investigators uncovered troubling details about the couple's financial situation, including a recent life insurance policy that named Curry as the sole beneficiary. Eric's family insisted he would never have agreed to such a policy. Further digging revealed an even darker twist. Records showed that Curry had conducted internet searches in the weeks leading up to Eric's death, researching poisons and their effects. Witnesses came forward, claiming that Curry had attempted to purchase fentanyl on more than one occasion. One informant, under the promise of anonymity, told investigators that Curry had asked explicit questions about how to administer a fatal dose without detection. The case against Eric Richins was growing stronger by the day, but it wasn't without its challenges. Defense attorneys argued that the evidence was circumstantial, that there was no direct proof linking Curry to the fentanyl found in Eric's system. They painted her as a grieving widow, unfairly targeted by a system desperate for answers. The trial that followed was a spectacle, drawing national attention and dividing public opinion. Prosecution painted a damning portrait of Curry as a manipulative and calculating woman who prioritized financial gain over her husband's life. They presented text messages between Eric and a close friend, in which he expressed fears about his safety and concerns about Curry's behavior. "If anything happens to me," one message read, "make sure Curry is the first person they look at." Defense attorneys countered with emotional appeals, portraying Curry as a devoted wife and mother who had been wrongfully accused. They argued that Eric's death was a tragic accident, the result of an unintentional overdose or contamination from unknown sources. But as the prosecution laid out their case, piece by meticulous piece, the weight of the evidence became impossible to ignore. Witness testimonies provided chilling insights into the final months of Eric's life. One close friend described how Eric had confided in him about wanting to leave the marriage but feared for his children's well-being. A forensic expert testified about the precise methods used to administer fentanyl, highlighting the deliberate nature of the act. The most damning testimony came from a former acquaintance of Curry's, who claimed she had openly discussed her desire to start over without Eric.